The T-45, the first power armor to be used on the field. Created by Westech in 2067 to be used on the Alaskan front to counter the Chinese. The T-45 only had 2 years of development before it was needed on the field. Because of that, the suit was plagued with mobility issues. It was meant to be a temporary model, but its ability to help the user wield heavy guns and the protection it gave made it become America's main power armor unit. Especially after Westech figured out how to fix the mobility issues. Nowadays though, you can find the T-45 power armor all over the wasteland, but can most commonly be seen being worn by the Brotherhood of Steel in the Capital Wasteland. The T-45 also has some variants, such as the MP-47A, also known as the prototype medic power armor. It was designed to administer medics to the user during combat if needed. Thankfully, if you want a power armor like that, you won't need to go looking around for the medic power armor. The medic armor was reverse engineered, and now we have the medic pump modification, which allows the power armor suit to act just like the medic power armor. But instead of giving the user medics, it gives stim packs. The T-51. Unlike the T-45, the T-51 did not have a rush development. Westech took their time on this one, 10 years to be exact. First seen on the field in 2076, the T-51 was considered the pinnacle of power armor before the war. It fixed everything that was wrong with the T-45. It fixed the mobility issues, it had better protection, and it even had a gyroscope and shock absorbers to improve landing and stability. It was said that their impact on the war was so tremendous that some Chinese troops would surrender as soon as they spotted a soldier wearing the T-51. It also had many variants, such as the Nuka T-51. Because of Nuka-Cola's strong ties with the US military, they were allowed to make a Nuka-Cola themed power armor to promote their soft drink. The T-60. As you could probably tell, it's an evolution of the T-45's design. They look very similar, but the T-60 is way more heavily armored. It entered service after the Battle of Anchorage, which ended on January 10th, 2077. My historian listeners might realize that that means the T-60 was only in service for a few months. And they'd be right. The T-60 was only in service for a little over 9 months before the bombs dropped. Thankfully, it was rapidly deployed, but not only to the war front. The T-60 was also used domestically to enforce order all over the nation. After the war, the T-60 became a very rare sight, until the Brotherhood of Steel found a large amount of the suits. Today, you can find the T-60 being worn by Brotherhood of Steel Paladins in the Commonwealth in Southern California. If you plan on wearing the T-60, be very careful. There's a rumor going around that the welding just under the chest plate has a flaw that allows bullets to go right through. There's also a rumor of there being a modified version of the T-60 somewhere in the Commonwealth. I was told that they called this modified version the Tesla armor, and that it's outfitted with multiple heavy-duty electrodes connected with thick cables that are used to overcharge the user's energy weapon, making it hurt a whole lot more. The T-65. There's not much to say about this power armor. It was being worked on right before the bombs dropped, but never entered mass production. It was first found with the Secret Service in Vault 79 in Appalachia. As you could probably tell just by looking at it, the T-65 was meant to be one of the strongest power armors in terms of damage negation. The T-65 tried to protect the exposed frame sections and other areas that would be thinly armored on other power armors. The X-01, the last and most advanced model of power armor developed before the Great War. It had a radically new design approach, throwing out the traditional design philosophies that define the T-series armors. Even though the X-01 was technically functional before the bombs dropped, it had many issues that stopped the widespread use of the suit, and further development became impossible after the bombs started dropping. After the war, the Enclave saved the schematics for the suit and kept copies all over the wasteland. Because of this, the Enclave was able to start production on a limited number of the suits, and eventually continue the X-01's development. The Enclave would develop the X-01 power armor into what they called the Advanced Power Armor Mark I and Mark II suits. Right after the war, the Enclave would also use the X-01 as the basis for the Hellfire armor, a fire-resistant power armor suit used by the Enclave flamethrower operators. Just like the T-51, the X-01 power armor also got a collaboration with Nuka-Cola. The US Army gave the Nuka-Cola Corporation a single prototype X-01 suit right before the bombs dropped, which they turned into the Quantum X-01 power armor suit. There are still 2 more power armors we haven't talked about, and that's because they weren't part of the US Army. First is the EXC-17, a prototype power armor suit created not for fighting, but for mining. The EXC-17 protected the user from rockfalls and airborne contaminants, while also increasing mining speed. The prototype was created by the Garahan Mining Company. They created the suit to try and compete with their competitor's robot miners, but sadly lost and was bought out by their competitor. But thankfully, after the bombs dropped, many Wastelanders discovered the EXC-17's blueprint and recreated it into what we see today. And the second armor has a more sinister origin. The Raider power armor. It's called the Raider Power Armor because that's exactly who's most likely to be seen wearing it. It's made from scavenged pieces of metal jury-rigged together, and as I'm sure you can guess, isn't as good at protecting the user as a normal power armor would. And that's everything you need to know about the power armors you're most likely to encounter while exploring the wastelands. If you enjoyed the video and want to help me out, why not give it a like? And if you want to be notified when I upload again, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. Either way, thanks for watching.